Look like the world ain't open back up again. A little bit.
It's like time and time again, I gotta remind myself what state of mind I'm in.
All right, we have a filmmaker in the house. Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Great.
No, thank you.
OWEN GEORGE.
This is why I love film festivals, because you have a variety of music videos, horror movies, and unexpectedly wonderful documentaries. So, I'm sorry, can you introduce yourself to the audience? Please.
OWEN GEORGE, live here in Asheboro, and that video we just saw was about my father's work in architecture.
Wow. I mean, well, that just defeats the purpose of me asking, well, why'd you do it? Are you a documentary filmmaker to begin with, or?
I've been working on several videos for the last 5 or 6 years, through some work that I do. We're doing some marketing videos, but took a real interest in taking these archival photographs and drawings, and then of course you saw that I had a chance to interview Mr. Kent Mooney, who the story was told in the video how he had an opportunity to work with Alvis George when he was very, very young, and later went on to become a very successful architect as a result, you might say.
I love the the images that you used and the montaging of all the architecture of everything that your father did, and all the other architects as well. I mean, it's weird because you're your son, so I don't want to put you on the spot, but how was it like growing up with your father?
Well, it was certainly a mixed bag, I would say.
That's what I was looking for. And I didn't want to be like, so your dad.
Yeah. I mean, he was very, very talented and smart, creative. He certainly was pretty focused on his work and his own life quite a bit. But it was just, yeah, it's always great to be around, I guess you might say, talented people. You learn a lot. You can. He was pretty critical. You know, he had sort of very strong views.
Of architecture or of other things?
Architecture, politics. He was progressively minded, and that was during the Cold War period, and then the Vietnam War was getting ready to kick up. So I grew up during that phase, and there was a lot of turbulence here in our country that was reflected by his views. He was against the war, for example, even though he'd been in the Air Force himself. But that's just some of the things I remember.
Yeah, so I saw the pictures. You know, he was in the Air Force, you said. Yeah, so I could see him being structured, because most military people are structured after they come back and are trained.
I look back and I'm pretty awed by the discipline that he had to do so much. He gave a lot back to the community, and he and his my mother socialized a great deal. They were sort of community leaders in the arts here, with their many peers, with their friends. But he got up and cranked out the work, though, and really, I guess you'd say, lived hard, you know, and went out fast, because he only made it to the age of 71.
Well, he left a wonderful legacy. I mean, what is your favorite project, for you personally? What is your favorite project that he did?
Great question. Because he's renowned for doing public buildings and some pretty cool houses too, mostly for people he knew. Some of those are around here, but his work was across the state and even in other states in the Southeast. He is very well known, and I have to go along with the feeling that his work as the director of design for the North Carolina Zoo.
North Carolina Zoo, which is fantastic. We don't have any animals running loose right now, so obviously that's good. We like that.
And you don't see
Only Carl.
You don't see, they don't.
It's a fact. I'm sorry. I'm trying to give him a compliment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like the buildings a lot. In fact, I'm very thrilled that the building that was sort of highlighted in this video was the savings and loan building that Mr. Kent Mooney worked on. That building is in the process of becoming it's being reborn to be a boutique hotel right downtown Asheboro. So it'll be Asheboro's first or only downtown hotel for many, many, many years. So that's going to be super cool.
We're excited about that.
Well, I think it's going to bring even more people to Asheboro.
Yeah.
So when Ty has this film festival in a couple of years, you know,
we'll fly into
all the guests can stay over there, and we can have big parties at the hotel. What do you say?
That's the biggest thing that, like, people ask, can we stay close? And they get over there and they hang out at Kickback Jacks instead of hanging out downtown. So as soon as that happens,
Transportation, more transportation.
as soon as that happens, they can walk from here to there, and I cannot wait.
I know it's gonna. It'll have about 40 rooms, and it's gonna have a great bar, a rooftop bar, I think. So, and you know, this is actually happening all around the United States and other countries because, you know, back in the old days, like in this video, was 1961, 62, and so you had in your community, you had a community bank that was built and had been there for 100 years, as that one had. And they built big old buildings, you know, and they did their banking all in that area, whereas today, most of them are consolidated and you don't really have so many of the local banks anymore. And people can do that online, but these big buildings are available to be repurposed.
And they're beautiful. I mean, coming from New York, I mean, classic buildings like the steel iron building, that's famous as well. And you said in your video, Greensboro, and I live in Greensboro, and some of those buildings look familiar from your documentary.
Right. The Weaver Educational Center downtown was one of Alvis's projects, and I'm sure you've seen it.
The library in Maine.
He didn't do the library there, but anyway, it's great to be here, and thank you so much for taking an interest in the video.
Absolutely. I'm gonna open up to the audience. If anybody have any, I know you would. Go right ahead.
Could you or would you share a moment with us, a personal moment when you realized that this man was bigger than life, really? Because he was. That he was your father, too.
Well, thank you, Wanda, because you remember meeting him, I'm sure. But he was a very outgoing guy, a character, and very loved by many, probably hated by some too. But because you know, he was outspoken, he laughed a lot, and he had a strong sardonic sense of humor to the extreme sometimes. You know, just full of fun. Yeah, just, you know, like a lot of us, we only wish we would have spent more time with those special people when we had them. And in some way, I think that this video is a way to sort of capture some of that story. And the great thing about it was that I was able to track down Mr. Kent Mooney, who I had not seen since I was a little child. I didn't really know him very well, but he would always for years would send like Christmas cards and things.
That's amazing.
But he came and stayed with me for a few days, and so it was so cool that building was like his baby too. You know, he had a chance to work on it, and he had dropped out of architecture school, disheartened, yet the opportunity, he just passed through town, he heard that Alvis George had moved here, was invited to the house for burgers and beer.
Oh, that'll bring anything.
Somehow he made it home to Raleigh, and because he kidded about that too, but that the next few months working here changed his life. He was able to work on a very impressive project. So when he went back to Clemson, he was welcomed back in loving arms and became very accomplished himself. So it just shows some small decisions we make along the way can just change our whole lives.
Yeah, that's terrific.
So it was fun working with him, and I keep in touch with him. I went down to Atlanta and hung out with Kemp last year, and he drove me all around Atlanta to show me the buildings that he'd worked on.
It's like the cycle continues, I guess.
It does. So thank you so much for having me on stage with you.
Any more questions, Wanda?
No, he answered that.
Well, my last question is, are you going to make any more films? Do you have anything that we can promote or plug?
Sure, you can go to the website, alvisgeorge.com. That's an archive, you might say, because I sort of inherited all these drawings and photographs and stories. And so we put a lot of that on a website, and there's this particular video has a follow-up, another building nearby that we interviewed the president of a bank. He did another bank after this one, and it's a nice video. But currently I'm working on doing some more work to document his work on this at the zoo.
So can we see maybe a longer version of this documentary, perhaps?
That would be that's, I guess, you know, I've been talking to some folks think it might be better to have a longer video.
I'm the idea guy. Yeah, let's make it longer.
You can do it. I don't know if people want to watch longer videos these days. I mean, people's attention span, but for a film festival, you can do it.
Yes, make it longer video. I'm telling you.
Thank you so much.
I believe in you.
Well, you give me the confidence.
Extraction, baby. Okay. It's what I do to them. Know me all my life and you still can't get used to them. Show the deuce to them. And please keep moving. That's what I do to them. Know me all my life and you still can't get used to them. So show the deuce to them. Please keep moving.